That was a brief glimpse of a special service that we held in St Mary's Parish Church, Aylesbury, to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the foundation of Aylesbury Grammar School. 1998 has been a historic and memorable year in the life of the school. We have tried to link our celebrations of the modern school with events through the history of the school. The year started with the publication of a commemorative volume tracing the history of the school back to 1598. Professor Mead, a former student of the school and now Vice Chairman of the Governors, had researched the history of the school and found that Sir Henry Lee in 1598 made a donation of £8 to found the school in a corner of the parish church in Aylesbury. And this is why that service had a special significance for us. The school later moved to new premises when Henry Phillips made a donation of £5,000 in 1714 in his bequest. Those premises are now the County Museum in Aylesbury, and we mounted a special exhibition of records, photographs and artefacts in the County Museum in the former school building. It was not until 1907 that the school finally moved to its present site in Walton Road. The land was purchased from the then Lord Rothschild, and in fact he officially opened the school in 1907. So we decided to complete the circle this year by inviting the current Lord Rothschild from Wadson Manor back to the school to open the very latest addition to the school premises, the new William Harding Design Centre. Well now, what a contrast with 1598, when the school started with a handful of pupils in the corner of St Mary's Church with its classics teacher, to 1998, a school of over 1,100 pupils, 75 members of the teaching staff and 25 members of the support staff. The school has gained a national reputation for its educational excellence, and the strengths of the school spread over the whole range of traditional subjects. And yet the school has gained a new strength in technology and computing, in gaining technology college status. This has meant that the school has linked with some of its sponsor companies, including British Aerospace, which has enabled pupils to use the knowledge that they have gained in the classroom in real-life design projects and engineering projects, and linked with engineers in the real world. In this video, we're going to recall some of the highlights of the celebrations of our 400th anniversary year and show you some of the activities that take place in a typical year at Aylesbury Grammar School. Well, let's start with a whistle-stop tour of the school, and afterwards I'll hand you over to 3 of the students who will take up the story.
Information technology provides us with an up-to-date method of finding up to the minute information. And I would like you this morning to use the Reuters Business Database. If you would now like to type in the username and password for the Reuters Business Briefing database.
What was this actually going to do? It's the boat steering wheel.
what you mean, but not at the bottom. Where do you want our right hand to be?
You need to hold it in the centre of the stick.
From the questionnaires, a reason for there being a high crude birth rate.
Many families have lots of children, so the children can look after their parents in old age.
So we put the disc in drive. The machine's already been set up and the offsets have been loaded, so that cutting tool knows exactly where it is.
Hopefully that will solve that sticking problem. That will obviously need to be glued on.
Have you had any joy?
Well, at the moment I'm just searching the Reuters system just to get an idea of articles that have come up on performance-related pay and AGS.
What about this master cheat list? That's some sort of computer game or the other.
So what's the boiling tube going to represent?
It's the bloodstream.
So the glucose will hopefully going to get through underneath there, out of the viscine tubing, into the solution. The colour change we're looking for is a yellowy, orangey, reddy colour. The redder it goes, the more glucose there is.
Nothing yet, leave it a couple of minutes. So, I think we could say glucose.
Sehr kompliziert.
Sehr kompliziert.
Eine kurze Pause.
Eine kurze Pause.
Nicht zu streng.
Nicht zu streng.
Sehr gut. Wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Chris Kelly.
Und wie alt bist du?
Ich bin 14 Jahre alt.
Wann hast du Geburtstag?
Ich habe am 10. August Geburtstag.
Gut. Woher kommst du?
Ich komme aus England.
Und wo wohnst du?
Ich wohne in Cheddington.
Ist das ein Dorf oder eine Stadt?
Cheddington ist ein Dorf.
Dirge. Again. 1, 2, 3. Da, da. Please, you can't forget on the day. 2, 3.
It has been very difficult to choose which items to include in this video, as so many events occurred throughout the year. One of the first events was a visit from the RAF Regiment Band, conducted by Flight Lieutenant Dave Compton. Some of the boys were surprised to find themselves actually taking part. The purpose of this visit was to be entertaining and educational. After the concert, boys were given the opportunity to find out about careers in the RAF.
At the end of January, a book on the history of the school, written by Professor Mead, was launched.
Welcome to you all to our brief ceremony to mark the opening of our 400th anniversary and the unveiling of our commemorative volume written specially for the occasion.
Those present included Sir Nigel Mobbs, the High Sheriff of Buckinghamshire, representatives from the County Council, governors, old boys and friends of the school.
We're here to launch both the anniversary year for Aylesbury Grammar, 1998, and the publication of a commemorative volume which traces the history of the school from its origins right up to the present day. This is a remarkable piece of research and scholarship by Professor Mead, and I congratulate him on his authorship. Therefore, it gives me very great pleasure to officially launch 1998 as the 400th anniversary of Aylesbury Grammar School, and I hope that it is, as I say, the threshold of adventures even greater than those that have befallen it in its previous 400 years. And I wish you, Headmaster, all your colleagues, and all the pupils here, great good fortune during this anniversary year.
It's all been, as I said to Margaret Smith on one occasion, great fun from the beginning, right through to last week, when I was persuaded to sign 800 copies. A sort of assembly line on either side.
Professor Mead is an old boy of the school, founder governor, and presently Professor of Geography at University College London.
Stuck in my mind. Thank you to all those generations of teachers who have been through the school, to whom we owe so much. And of course, we have the thanks of all the old people, pupils of the school, who owe so much to all those former teachers. And on that happy note, may I declare the book launched.
I would like to present Sir Nigel with the first official copy of the book and say thank you once again.
In the beginning of March, the House Public Speaking Competition is held. Boys from year 8 to 13 compete with speeches on their chosen subject to win points for their house. The judge this year was Mr. John Formby from Connell's Estate Agents.
But I refuse to believe the atomic bomb is a force for evil. Quite contrary to this, I believe the atomic bomb is the single biggest force for peace on the earth. Yes, 350,000 people did die at Hiroshima.
Number 1. Oswald's best shot. He's had plenty of time to aim. And guess what? He misses. By a lot.
What would it be like to know that your life was destroying the lives of your closest friends and relatives as they sat there day after day and watched your life disintegrate?
Look at you all there. Are you really listening to me? Probably not. I would guess that the majority of you out there are more worried about the maths homework that's due in next period, or even, what are you doing here? But surely there are more important things in life, even the universe. Just how significant are we?
In my 15-year-old frustration, I've often asked myself, well, why do we have these laws? In Spain, you can have sex at 12.
In this country, we've got to wait till we're 16. 4 years. That's a whole third more. Maybe age isn't such a good measure of maturity.
It's coming, flying past each one of us. Bumps into some, skims past a few, and completely bypasses the rest. Yes, it's pointing at you, the fickle finger of fate.
If you are knocked down by a car or fall off a ladder in the US and you need medical attention, then if you can't pay for it, you won't get it. This, sad to say, is an everyday American occurrence. I'm happy that some American trends have come to England, but this one, as far as I'm concerned, is one that can stay there. Thank you very much.
The overall result was a draw between Phillips and Patterson.
The PTA does a tremendous amount of fundraising work for the school throughout the year. The first event of this year was the Mother's Day meeting, which amongst other things included a talk with slides about the churches of Buckinghamshire.
But just to the right of the yew tree in the centre of this picture.
Are you having any? What are you?
Dominus Deus Sabaoth.
Dominus Deus Sabaoth.
Excellent.
During March, a great deal of work went into preparations for our special anniversary service at St Mary's Church.
Altos will... We will go... And 3 beats on go then.
The service was held on the 22nd of March in the presence of many local dignitaries, past pupils, parents and teachers. The opening fanfare was written by sixth former Julian Buckley, winner of this year's Times Music Scholarship. The service included a multimedia presentation illustrating the school's history.
Yet despite this unrest, Aylesbury Grammar School continued to expand. The second 100 years.
Those taking part in the service included our head boy, Sam Cotman,
Praise the Lord, O my soul.
and Mr. Bob Evans, a pupil at the school in
We
1929.
return to God, the giver of life and hope. Praise the Lord, O my soul.
Readings and thanksgivings were given by Mr. Rowe and his predecessor, Mr. Keith Smith, Headmaster from 1967 to 1992.
It is by your grace that we are called to share your work in creation.
We affirm and celebrate the fact that God's love does not change, and that whatever the future brings to this school, God has an undeviating goodwill towards it.
The house art competition was run in March and produced an enormous variety of different pieces. The Easter holidays soon arrive. Boys from Year 9 paid a visit to Amsterdam. They all found the trip very enjoyable and even educational, some of the time. Meanwhile, a party of 60 boys from Years 9 and 10 and 6 teachers ventured slightly further afield. They had the opportunity to let off all their pent-up term-time steam on the ski slopes of Sunday River in Maine. The trip also took in the sights of Boston. At the beginning of June, exams are over and things become more relaxed. This is the time when most of the field trips start to happen. Some of the trips are designed to encourage team spirit and initiative.
Right, number 10. WI50 right here. So there's one over here we got, then we moved round there we've got, and that, and that. Oh, yes, here guys. Okay, where's number 3? Number 3 should be just down there. Number 3 down there. You carry on down here and then turn left.
We're the first group in. Carl, McGill, one person had 4.
We got 4.
We got 4. Can I keep the cards, please?
Can we use some of them? No, you can't, David.
That's a necessity camera size.
Right guys, if you look over there in the distance, you can see Coombe Hill where we started the day off this morning. I'm beginning to come down off the clay where the Iron Age foot was up high. We're beginning to come down the scarp slope. Scarp slope is supposed to be a dip slope, the scarp slope being quite steep.
We still have trees on the tops. You can see a variety. There's some softwood mixed trees, mainly hardwood on the Chiltern Ridge and mainly beech. So man's altered things so that he's grown the trees he wanted to grow. As we look over there, you can see Chequers. That's that big house over there, which you may or not know is the countryside residence of the government. As we move round, you can see Aylesbury. Either side of it, there's new development. You can see some red brick tiles, brick buildings, and new estates that have been built over the last sort of 13 years.
June was a very busy month, with 60 boys taking part in the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme. And of course, the show must go on, even if the weather decides to throw in a challenge of its own.
If I were you, I should get your tents up as quickly as you possibly can, so that you can get in them and get yourselves dry and warm.
Also enjoying the fun were some of our neighbours from the high school.
Sarah cooked this. It looks ready nearly.
Put water in there.
In June, our new design centre was opened by Lord Rothschild.
This is a proud moment for us. We hope you'll enjoy your visit. And it's a very proud occasion for me to be able to introduce Lord Rothschild and to ask him whether he would say a few words to us. Lord Rothschild.
In 1904, Lord Rothschild's father sold the present site to the school governors for £1,406, 15 shillings.
But I think it's a fantastic achievement, your 400th anniversary, and I think the nicest things of all are institutions which have glorious pasts, but which have the skill to refresh themselves, to innovate for the future. If you look at the Technology, Computing and Art and Design Centre, it does really epitomise all the things that will give this great school a great future. And I'm very touched and pleased that you should have asked me to have come here this afternoon and to have joined in this great celebration. Thank you very much. There we are.
Something we haven't mentioned yet is sport, and this of course plays a big part in school life. This year, as normal, we won quite a few inter-school competitions.
Come on! Go! There he is on this side there. Well done, Mark! Keep going!
Our annual sports day is held in July.
Second on 68 points, Lee House, and the winners with 71 points, Hamden House. Congratulations.
This year, the PTA Fete had an Elizabethan flavour. In addition to the usual stalls and games, there was a play specially written for the occasion. In July, 180 boys from over 35 schools who will be joining the school in September come for a day to get to know their new school and classmates.
My name is Mr. Kemp. I'm the Deputy Headmaster, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here this morning. Now, I know you don't officially start until September, but from our point of view, you're here, you're already AGS boys.
Right, well, gentlemen, it's my pleasure, as well as Mr. Kemp, to welcome you to the school today. If you haven't yet met me, my name is Mr. Chesworth. I'm the head of Year 7, and I'm also your form tutor for the year.
The boys are given tasks designed to help them to get to know each other. After being welcomed to the school, the boys spend the rest of the day seeing what is in store for them in September.
Do you want to come and get a piece of metal, gents? Round the back there.
There is also the chance to find out about some of the many clubs and other activities which take place at lunchtime or after school.
Save all plus. No. So he's dead.
Each year in July, we take it in turns with the high school to stage a joint production. This year it was our turn, and the play was called Where There Was Darkness, written by Mr. Ormonroyd.
This is really last minute stuff, isn't it? Anybody else has got the feel of that now? Yeah. Let's do it again. So many good things there. If we've got to get this pace.
I don't want to see lovely clean nails. We mean rubbish
You're an intruder in the house of God.
I vowed I would never enter this place. What has happened to my daughter has strengthened my resolve. But things have to be said, and I find you all assembled here.
The school has close links with industry. The link with British Aerospace is one of our most significant. Here, in a project organised and sponsored by British Aerospace, the boys are competing in groups against the clock to design and construct a model hangar based on specific and detailed requirements.
we are attempting to build a structure for. It has got to withstand a force being dropped directly onto it. You must now take your design, whether it's in your head or on paper, and purchase the materials that are needed.
Tout comme ça. C'est le groupe de quel numéro? 3. 3.
I don't know.
Okay, gentlemen, you have 59 minutes left.
Minutes in this session.
Have you worked out all the rivets we've had?
Basically, top impact is side impact.
During the summer holidays, there was a rugby trip to South Africa. Unfortunately, although we only won 1 game out of 7, all the matches were very closely fought. The boys thoroughly enjoyed all aspects of the trip.
The holidays are soon over, and so it's back to business as usual. One of the most important events in September is our annual prize giving. Following speeches by the chairman of the governors and the headmaster, a cheque for £20,000 was presented by the PTA.
This is Mrs. Toller's first year. There's absolutely no doubt that you are always more effective the second time through.
This year, our guest speaker was Tim Beasley, an ex-pupil, who is now Professor of Economics at the London School of Economics.
It's a particular honour, and perhaps a little shocking, to be invited here on the 400th anniversary of the school. An honour, I think it's clear to you why that might be. A little shocking because when I was sitting there, albeit very rarely, I always thought the people who stood here were about 400 years old. I didn't quite realise I'd yet qualified on that. The education I received at AGS has certainly been a very important part of. I think there was always a free-thinking atmosphere, even though we worked from a curriculum, and I still see that today. And I congratulate the teachers for maintaining an atmosphere in which one can be flexible about one's thinking. Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me. I've enjoyed very much the opportunity to return to the school in such a distinguished year. Thank you.
During the evening, over 160 boys were presented with their well-earned awards.
Latin, Andrew Jones. Mathematics and physics, Dominic Burnham. November, our PTA were busy again and organised the annual craft fair. The final event in our special year was a concert held at the Wycombe Swan Theatre.
You will set up in this position whilst this curtain is down, and John Craven is literally a metre the other side of it, talking. Here we go.
The concert featured bands and choirs from the grammar school, the high school and the Aylesbury Music Centre.
Pathetic, Paul.
Middle. Yeah.
Okay, ready? We need much bigger crescendo at the beginning in the end of the 7th and 8th bars.
You need to look as though you're giving more. You need to hold the book up and go for it. I need a bit more commitment, in other words, okay? Okay, let's go from the beginning. Straight in.
Over 1,000 people came to see the show, which had been sold out for weeks. The compere was John Craven.
Well, my job tonight really is to try and keep on talking while about 200 people or so come and go all around me. And those people are going to be offering us tonight lots of musical variety during what is the final event in a year of great celebrations.
Just like to sing you a couple of tracks from my latest album. Since this is probably my last public occasion, I would just like to wish everybody connected with the school, everybody, the very greatest of happiness and the best of success in the future. And thank you for all the support that you've given me. Thank you very much.
Well, that was a memorable concert in the Wycombe Swan, and it brought together all sections of the community that are connected with Aylesbury Grammar School. But above all, it brought together present and past members of the school, students of the school, displaying their talents and their enthusiasm and giving us all real pleasure. And for me, this is what Aylesbury Grammar School is really all about. Developing the mind, yes, but just as importantly, developing the interests, the talents, the enthusiasm, the confidence and the personality of individuals. This is what the school has always been about, and I hope it always will be.
Viva, viva, viva.